Hey, how you doing? Sean Mormelo here. Good to see you guys. Today I'm going to make a video that might be a little controversial. A lot of artists out there think that they need to release a lot of music and somehow people are going to magically discover this music. They're going to get on Spotify or iTunes playlists and I don't know, somebody famous is going to put them on their playlist and they're going to be put on the map and stuff like that, but I don't know if that's really the case. It seems like there's a lot of music released and it just goes out into the ether. What's worse is the royalties amount to just about nothing. I think in maybe 10 years and a few thousand albums sold, I might have made less than $100 on Spotify or iTunes or CD Baby. Back in the day, I sold quite a few CDs on CD Baby, but still, it pales in comparison to what you're going to sell at a live show. Here's my thought process on it. It doesn't do an indie artist any good to release albums and put them on Spotify. It's not going to get you anywhere. It is purely for your own self-edification. And because of the fact that royalties are so minuscule, I would say it devalues our art, because you put your music up on these streaming platforms, you don't really get any royalties. You might get 31 cents or 0.0003 cents a spin or something like that. And it just shows that's the value of your art. I think it's BS. I think if you want to release music, people aren't really consuming full albums. I don't consume full albums anymore. You know, put out a song or two or three at a time maybe, and do something special. Some kind of downloadable booklet or some kind of like a vinyl package or something special that you can sell at your live shows, because that takes me to the second part of this video. Look, the future of music, the future of making a living as an artist and a musician is live performance. And I'm going to tell you why. With all the AI out there, with Arnold Schwarzenegger's face in every movie, and him singing every line, and every TikTok movie with cats singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow or Lady Gaga or whatever else, AI in a studio can make anybody sound good, okay? Pretty soon it's going to be, you know, a hedgehog could make an album that sounds as good as the Beatles, you know, using computers. And we all knew it was going to go there eventually. I mean, I spent 40, 50 hours a week in a studio, literally working on production for 15 years, over 15 years, almost 20 years. So it's going to get to the point where anybody can make something great in a studio, but can they produce it live? Can that artist play and sing? You know, can they actually bring it live? It's always really been that way anyway, but I think moving forward, the future of making a living as a live musician and making a living as an artist, let's just say, you know, which I think is an even higher tier goal than making a living as a musician playing covers. If you can make a living off your own music, man, you're in the top 0.00001% of musicians. You know, those of us who make a living as musicians are in the top 1%. So really, if you can perform live and you can play and you can sing your ass off and you have something to sell the fans, I don't care if it's a t-shirt, a poster, some kind of exclusive access to some kind of a, you know, special backdoor site that gives them, you know, membership privileges or something like that, or whatever it is, that's going to be the future of being able to make a living. And of course, there's always going to be licensing options and things like that out there. But again, it's really difficult as an indie, unknown artist to make a living licensing your music as well. You know, I took music production, engineering, licensing, publishing, things like that in school. Got a certificate in that in Nashville, and you know, the ROI on it, the time effort of a musician, when you also have to create and you also have to do marketing, you have to promote, you have to, you know, get out there and actually perform. You know, the ROI on it is really difficult to justify, because you just have to spend so much time trying to get your stuff out there. And if you have a team, that's one thing, and you can't just say, oh, you know, Matt Carney did it, you know, blah blah blah, as an indie or whatever. Some people get lucky, some people know people or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying not to try, but I'm just saying focus on the things that you know that with your own your own hands and your own hard work that they're going to, pretty much enable you to achieve the goals you're trying to achieve. So again, to round this video out, I think putting your music out on streaming platforms as an indie is just ridiculous. It's a non-starter. It really doesn't do anything. I mean, maybe after you've granted exclusive access to your fans in some way, and just be your artists, just be creative, figure out a way. I don't care if it's gift packages, vinyl packages, retreats where 6 or 8 or 10 people come with you to another country and you hang out in Tuscany and you play music together and you do it. Then they get a special vinyl pressing of your album, or they get some kind of a USB key with special versions of these songs on there, or whatever. But I think live performance is where it's at, and that's where you can connect face to face to your fans. If you connect to your fans and they have an actual tactile, physical connection to you, they're more apt to buy. They're more apt to buy your music on vinyl, even on CD. I mean, I don't have a CD player anymore. There's no CD players in most vehicles anymore. I mean, the CD's dead. But indie artists, songwriters, like Nashville songwriters and stuff, nobody's making any money off their songs anymore. And that's a travesty, and that devalues the art. So just be creative. Try to figure out creative, new, innovative ways to get your actual art, physical product out there. And I think the number one way is going to be live performance, connection to an audience. So I hope that spurs some thought. I hope you got some value from this. My name is Sean Mormelo, and I help people achieve the goals of making a living as a musician, or just help them try to figure out the best path forward to fulfill their artistic visions and goals. And I do offer personal consultations, and I'll put the tag in here as well. And please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. All right? Bye.